Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 5 F1 Buckfast mated queens from BS honeybees. We're going to be doing some hive management here in the woodland. Then we're going to be going to our first apiary and making some splits. So the aim is to boost our numbers up a bit. We have suffered some winter losses and yeah, might be sacrificing some of the spring honey by splitting our colonies this time of year, but I feel like if we increase our numbers, we can catch up later on in the year. And yeah, super excited to get these queens introduced. But before anything, let's prepare our queens ready to go into the hive. So here we go, that's our first queen, and we have 4 more inside there. So this is how your queen comes in an introduction cage. And they've got these little tabs on the side. Now, normally what you'd do is you'd pop your queen in the cage, you'd come back 24 hours later, and then you'd pop these tabs then. Now, to save coming back, all I'm gonna do is pop them now. So just use a knife, pop those tabs open. They just come off easy like that. I'm just gonna twist them off completely so they don't get in the way. And then basically replacing the tabs with a bit of masking tape. We've taken the tabs off, saves having to come back 24 hours later, and then we just replace the tab with a bit of masking tape, which will then give us the 24 hours back. So it'll take a day for the bees to chew through the masking tape now. I'm just gonna pop a couple little holes in the tape as well. So we've got 5 queens. I'm gonna do this for 4 of them, and I'm not gonna do it for 1 because one of them we're gonna be using our introduction cage instead. So for that one, I'm not gonna bother with the masking tape. I'm just gonna pop the tabs. To start with, move this hive away from this position, preferably over 3 foot. So I'm gonna put it on the stand next door. So the idea is any of the flying bees will fly back to this location here. We're going to move all the bees over there. We're going to take the queen out with 1 frame of brood and pop it back here. Hopefully the queen is here. All the flying bees will come back to this location, and it just leaves the nurse bees there where we can introduce our new queen. I'm going to turn it around so the entrance is facing opposite direction. Oh my God. Ah. So now we have a nuke with 5 frames of foundation in, and let's have a look through this hive. I did do a split out of this hive like a week ago, but they're just absolutely determined to swarm. So there we go. There's our queen. He's on the frame of brood. Let's move this and pop it in our little nuke. I'm just going to go through all the frames, shake off all the bees, and have a good look, making sure we don't have any swarm cells. It's a good job we came today, because with a capped queen cell, it means the queen could have swarmed any time now. So here's our queen cell, and I'm sorry, but we're going to get rid of you. So pretty confident that there's no queen cells in here. Let's pop that frame in. Let's replace with a frame of foundation. All I'm going to do is just find a frame towards the middle. Let's pop her in like that. Okay, excellent. I have another brood box. So I'm going to stick that on, gives them plenty of space to work on. All this up here. And that means I can feed them with syrup without them crowding the brood box. So to go over what we've just done, I've moved the hive with the queen over to there, taking the queen out on the frame she was on and placed her in a little nuke. So I'm guessing what the idea is here is all the flying bees will fly back, they'll be with the queen, and they'll think that they have swarmed. We've got a load of nice nurse bees over there with the original hive, and we've introduced a new queen to them. So fingers crossed that goes well. I'm gonna pop a little bit of syrup in both of these because the syrup helps the acceptance rate go up. Do quite like these panes nukes with these clear crown boards. Makes it really easy to have a look at the top of the hive without actually going in and disturbing them. Next up, we have this colony, and I had a look at this yesterday. There was some emergency cells. I'm guessing something's happened to the queen. So what we're gonna do, something similar. Right, let's do the same as what we did. Let's move it over here. Lots of flying bees here. Hopefully they'll just migrate into the rest of the hives here. For this colony, just because it's such a full hive of bees, we're going to try and using our introduction cage. It's supposed to be an ideal method of introducing a queen because you can leave the queen roam around one frame of brood. All the brood that hatches out will accept that queen, and then slowly the pheromones can then transfer out throughout the whole hive. Saying that, I did use this the other week and it didn't quite work out that way. I think there was a little gap in the top here and the queen managed to escape, and then I'm pretty sure the rest of the bees balled her. Right, let's have a look through all of these frames, let's shake them off and make sure there's no emergency cells, just in case there's any I did miss. I hope I'm not too late on this colony. It actually is a virgin queen in here. That wouldn't be very good. But virgin queens are just so hard to spot, I don't think I'd find her anyway. Let's, well, I suppose using the introduction cage, the queens can't fight anyway, so we'll see if there's any eggs in here next week that's not in the cage, then we know that there is another queen. Okay, so we've got a nice frame of brood there with no bees on. I'm gonna pop that in to our queen introduction cage, like that. And then let's get our queen. So I've popped the tabs on this already, but I haven't put any masking tape in there. Let's have a look if we can see our queen. Yeah, we can see our queen, she's doing well. Let's pop that in like that, nice and gently. A little bit of tape and just tape up the sides of this queen cage, just because there is a little gap there still, and I'm worried that I'm gonna have the same issue I had the other week and they're gonna kill the queen. So we've got our introduction cage, we've got our queen in there. I've sealed up the sides so no foreign bees can get in. And yeah, hopefully the queen can't get out either. So we'll come back next week with this one. Hopefully the queen's in here, all the brood that's in here has emerged, and her pheromones can go throughout the colony. And yeah, then potentially we could release her. So let's pop that in, like that. There's a good box of honey in here. Yes, this is actually probably my very first box of honey. So excited to extract this later in the year. I'm just putting our feeder back on, no syrup in here. This is purely just to be used as a crown board. So our second queen introduction. 3 more queens to go. Look at all the bees that are flying where this hive was. Let's have a look. Just check out all the bees. So this is where that hive just was. And all these flying bees are wondering where their colony's gone. Okay, so there we go. We have introduced 2 queens into our hives here, done a little bit of management. So we've hopefully prevented the one hive from swarming, and the other colony needed a queen anyway. So we've introduced a nice mated Buckfast queen, nice calm bees. These flying bees that are coming back to this original location, looks like they're slowly migrating into this hive, and they will be sort of adding to the numbers of the other 2 as well. Hopefully that was the right thing to do. I don't know, I'm just a beginner. I'm learning something new every single day. But next up, we're gonna go to our first apiary. We're gonna introduce the other 3 queens and make some splits, but that's coming in the next episode. So stay tuned for part 2 coming up right here. And if you stayed this long, I appreciate it. See you in the next video. Cheers.